Welcome to the deep dive. If you've been paying any attention at all to the business world lately, you've probably felt the ground shift a bit. AI, well, it's not just hype anymore, is it? It's becoming a day-to-day reality, especially in sales.
Oh, absolutely. The numbers are pretty stark.
They really are. HubSpot found that by 2024, nearly half of sales professionals, we're talking 43%, said they were using AI in their sales process.
And that's up from just 24% the year before. That's a huge leap.
It is. It shows just how fast this stuff is getting integrated.
It really underscores how quickly the whole landscape is changing for anyone in go-to-market.
Definitely. And it's not just the massive tech companies either. I mean, think about that Ryan Reynolds story. Using ChatGPT to write a Mint mobile ad.
Right, I remember that.
He said the result was eerily on brand and maybe even mildly terrifying in how effective it was. That one little anecdote kind of hints at the surprising power we're seeing now.
It's a perfect example, isn't it? Shows how AI can really surprise us, even with creative stuff. Disrupts expectations.
And that's really our mission today. We want to, cut through all the noise and give you some actionable insights. What's the real impact of AI on your sales role? How is it changing workflows? Customer engagement? What does it actually mean for you?
Because there's this interesting paradox happening, right?
Exactly. That's the critical thing for this deep dive. McKinsey found nearly 80% of companies are using generative AI now. The kind that creates stuff, text, images.
Yeah, the creative AI.
Right. But get this. Roughly the same percentage, around 80%, report no significant bottom line impact.
Which makes you ask, why? Why are so many companies using it but not seeing the results? And often it boils down to, well, poor implementation.
How so?
They're just sort of bolting AI onto processes that are already outdated. They're basically AIing the past instead of fundamentally rethinking how sales should work with AI built in from the core.
Okay. So it's not just about adding another tool. It requires a real strategic shift.
Precise.
Okay, so to figure out how to bridge that gap, let's maybe dive into AI's main applications in sales. Where is it actually making a difference already?
Sounds good. AI is really starting to automate and enhance some critical parts of the sales cycle. First up, lead generation and prospecting.
Okay.
AI tools can automatically sift through massive amounts of data. They identify promising leads that really fit your ideal customer profile. They look at past successful deals, and then prioritize prospects based on how likely they are to buy.
So it's moving away from guesswork.
Exactly. It replaces that manual guesswork with algorithmic precision. This isn't just about being faster. It's a fundamental change. It means reps shouldn't be spending any time on cold leads, ideally. All their time goes to the hottest opportunities.
That's a huge potential shift, focusing reps where they can actually make an impact. Okay, then what about dealing with those first inquiries?
Right, that's where lead qualification gets a big AI boost. Think chatbots, virtual assistants like Drift maybe. They can engage website visitors instantly, 24/7.
Answering basic questions, scheduling meetings, that kind of thing.
Yep, they answer queries, schedule meetings, and John Burroughs points out, interestingly, that a lot of prospects actually prefer this kind of self-service for the initial contact.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. It frees up a human reps from that early, grunt work. Lets them jump in later for the more qualified, deeper conversations.
Okay, so AI handles the first pass, lets humans step in when it really counts. What about actually reaching out once a lead is qualified?
Good question. That leads us to sales outreach and personalization. AI writing assistants are getting really good at helping reps draft highly personalized messages, emails, LinkedIn messages, but in a fraction of the time it would normally take.
How do they personalize?
They can pull specific details from public info, like LinkedIn profiles or company news, and weave them in. They can also optimize things like subject lines for better open rates. It's basically mass customization becoming a reality. You get that one-to-one feel, but at scale, almost effortlessly.
That sounds incredibly useful for engagement. Okay, but what about all the admin, tracking calls, emails? That always takes up so much time.
Oh, it's a massive relief there. CRM automation and data entry. AI is really easing that burden. It can automatically log calls, emails, meeting notes, other interactions right into the CRM.
Like Salesforce's Einstein GPT.
Exactly like that. It can summarize every step of the sales cycle, keeping the CRM data constantly updated. Think about the hours that saves reps.
Yeah.
Plus, the data quality for managers gets drastically better. Your CRM becomes this living, accurate resource, not just a chore.
Less time on busy work, more time actually selling. I like the sound of that. But okay, looking beyond current tasks, how does AI help teams look ahead? Forecasting and stuff?
Yeah, that's where forecasting and pipeline analytics comes in, and it's powerful. AI is brilliant at pattern recognition. It can analyze hundreds of factors, deal stage, engagement levels, even sentiment in emails or calls.
Things a human might miss.
Often, yeah. And based on all that, it can predict the likelihood of a deal closing with pretty remarkable accuracy. It helps sales leaders forecast revenue more reliably, flags deals that might be at risk early, and can even suggest actions to get things back on track. It often outperforms the traditional gut feel methods because it's backed by so much data. It's like an early warning system.
Almost like a crystal ball, but, actually based on something concrete.
Exactly.
Now, something like a sales call is so nuanced. How does AI help improve performance there?
That's a fascinating area. Conversation intelligence and coaching, platforms like Gong or Chorus, you've probably heard of them.
Yeah.
They record and analyze sales calls. They look for keywords, track sentiment, measure talk-to-listen ratios, all sorts of things. And this gives incredible insights into what top performers are actually doing differently.
So you can see what works.
Precisely. Chris Orlob highlights how AI helps reps really understand what's working and what's not in your conversations. And John Barrows suggests reps can basically have their own personal on-demand sales coach. The AI gives immediate feedback like, hey, you did 80% of the talking on that call. It creates this constant feedback loop for improvement.
Wow, that's amazing for skill development, especially for newer reps. Okay, and there's a newer area I've been hearing buzz about, buyer enablement. How does AI fit there?
Yes, this is a really interesting development. Companies like Aligned, co-founded by Gal Aga and Gal Deitch, are pioneering digital sales rooms.
Digital sales rooms, what are those exactly?
Think of them as shared online spaces, hubs, designed specifically to make those complex B2B buying journeys simpler. Gartner has stats showing like 77% of B2B buyers find the whole process way too complex.
I can believe that.
Right. And maybe 95% of their journey is self-directed before they even talk to sales properly. So these digital sales rooms create a central, interactive place for everything related to the deal. They track engagement, who's looking at what content, and can nudge sellers on the right next steps.
So it's like a collaborative command center for the deal, making it easier for buyers and sellers.
Exactly. And the results they're seeing are pretty compelling. Shortening deal cycles by, say, 30%, increasing win rates by maybe 15%. Gal Aga actually describes it as an Iron Man suit for sellers.
An Iron Man suit, I like that.
Yeah, it gives them these enhanced capabilities, insights, kind of 247 support for managing the deal.
That's a powerful image. Okay, so putting it all together, it really sounds like AI is injecting speed, data, and consistency into sales. So for you listening, the sales professional, what are the big benefits? What are the opportunities here?
Well, the most immediate obvious one is efficiency and time savings. AI just radically improves productivity. It handles those laborious, time-sucking tasks like data entry, drafting routine emails. That HubSpot study we mentioned, 73% of salespeople using AI-powered CRMs reported significant productivity boosts.
73%.
Yeah. And half of them felt AI allowed them to scale their efforts in ways that just weren't possible before. You're literally getting hours back each week.
That's huge. More time for actual selling, right? But it's not just about saving time, is it? What about the quality of the interactions?
Spot on. That's the next big one. Better personalization at scale. AI lets you tailor interactions for each customer, even if you're managing tons of accounts. It instantly analyzes data to help you craft messages that are truly relevant.
So you can achieve that segment of one approach.
Exactly. Every buyer gets content that feels like it was made just for them. That builds engagement, builds trust, way beyond what you could ever do manually across hundreds of leads.
So it's not just sending more emails, it's sending smarter, more resonant emails. And presumably, all this data leads to smarter decisions overall.
It absolutely does. That's data-driven decision-making. AI provides this wealth of analytics to really inform your strategy, from prioritizing which opportunities to chase first to recommending the optimal next step for a specific deal. It doesn't replace human judgment, but it augments it with solid evidence. It can flag deals at risk or suggest moves a human might otherwise overlook.
Makes sense. And we touched on this earlier, but it really seems like a fantastic training tool, too.
Oh, definitely. Enhanced training and skill development. It acts like that personal, always-on coach we talked about. New reps can ramp up way faster because they get instant objective feedback on their calls and emails. It accelerates skill development, and importantly, it kind of democratizes coaching. Everyone gets access to that level of insight, not just the chosen few.
So if AI is handling more routine work and coaching, what does that free up the human salesperson to actually do? Does it elevate the role?
This is the really exciting part, I think. It lets you focus on high-value activities. By automating the low-value repetitive stuff, AI frees you, the sales professional, to spend more time on building deep relationships, really understanding complex customer problems, and delivering creative, strategic insights.
The human stuff.
Exactly. Chris Orlob makes a great point. The best reps don't just transmit information. They create value by guiding buyers through complex decisions. That requires human judgment, empathy, strategic thinking, things AI can't replicate. It's that Iron Man suit again, right? Letting you operate at a higher level, focusing on what truly matters.
That feels like the core of it, elevating the uniquely human skills. Oh, okay, and stepping back, what about the bigger picture for companies? Competitively.
Well, it presents a massive opportunity for innovation and competitive advantage. Companies that adopt AI early and smartly can really leapfrog their competitors. They can differentiate the buying experience, make it smoother for customers, maybe even run leaner operations.
And the ones who don't?
The laggards. They're going to face increasing pressure. Customer expectations are rising because of these improved experiences elsewhere. Their more agile competitors will be gaining significant ground. It becomes harder to keep up.
Okay, the promise is clearly huge. But let's get real for a second. Adopting AI isn't always smooth sailing, right? There must be challenges. You need thoughtful implementation to avoid the pitfalls.
Absolutely. The challenges are significant, and they mostly revolve around applying it thoughtfully and integrating it with the human element. First, big risk, over-automation and losing the human touch.
Right.
If you just blindly automate everything, you can end up just scaling noise instead of creating quality conversations. Gal Aga calls this the AI paradox.
Yeah.
Automating bad processes just makes them worse faster. The goal has to be enhancing the buyer's experience, not just enabling more spam. You have to maintain that human empathy where it counts.
Yeah, I think we've all received those impersonal, clearly AI-generated spam messages. It's a total turnoff.
It really is. And for AI to even work well, it needs good fuel. This brings us to data quality and accuracy. AI is only ever as good as the data you feed it.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
If your CRM data has missing entries, outdated info, inconsistencies, the AI's conclusions are going to be flawed. It's absolutely critical to have processes for continuous monitoring and feeding the AI diverse, clean, up-to-date information.
That makes total sense. Bad data, bad insights. Okay, so let's say you have the tech, you've cleaned up your data.
Right.
How do you get the team to actually use it effectively?
The human element again. That's the training and adoption challenge. There is a learning curve. We saw that stat earlier. Over 60% of salespeople believe AI helps them. Right?
Yeah.
But roughly the same percentage say they lack the skills to actually use it effectively.
That's a huge gap.
It is. It points to an urgent need for really robust training programs. Not just how to click buttons, but focusing on AI literacy, teaching reps how to interpret the insights AI provides, how to craft effective prompts to get what they need, and crucially, understanding the AI's limitations. Successful rollouts often use pilot programs first and involve strong change management from leadership.
So managers really need to invest in the people, not just the technology itself. Okay, now what about when the AI gets things wrong? Or issues around transparency?
Yeah, that falls under managing AI's output and ensuring compliance. We have to be aware of things like AI-generated hallucinations, where the AI might just make stuff up, present inaccurate or totally false information.
Which happens.
It does. And the human rep is ultimately responsible for checking facts and ensuring accuracy before sending anything to a client. Then there are ethical questions. Transparency: should AI bots always identify themselves as bots? Privacy: recording and analyzing calls needs careful handling, especially with regulations like GDPR. Teams really need clear guidelines, a code of conduct for using AI responsibly.
Okay, that's crucial. Now let's tackle the elephant in the room for many sales professionals. Job disruption and role evolution. Is AI coming for their jobs?
It's a valid concern, and it will have a direct impact. But it looks more like evolution than outright replacement for most. Yes, AI will definitely reduce the need for certain tasks, especially repetitive ones.
Right.
Joe Barrows is pretty blunt about it. Reps who only send templated emails, who don't add much value beyond that. Yeah, automation will likely replace that function. However, it also means new roles will emerge. People focused on managing the AI systems, or specialists handling only the most complex, highly qualified conversations that AI tees up.
So it's about adapting.
Exactly. The emphasis has to be on upskilling, leaning into those uniquely human capabilities: emotional intelligence, strategic thinking, empathy, maybe over just pure IQ, as Barrow stresses. It's about adapting and evolving alongside the technology.
Becoming that AI-augmented human rather than being replaced by the machine. Okay, Last challenge area. How do companies make sure they actually get value from this and don't just buy the latest shiny object?
It really comes down to strategic implementation. Don't just adopt AI because it seems like a cool cutting-edge thing to do. You absolutely must start by identifying your biggest sales process bottlenecks. What are the real problems you're trying to solve? Ensure AI is the right tool for that problem.
Makes sense.
Then, integration is key. It needs to fit smoothly into existing workflows. The CRM, email tools otherwise, adoption will struggle. And finally, you need clear metrics from day one to track the return on investment. Is it actually saving time? Improving win rates? You need to measure it. Anthony Slumbers warns strongly against just layering AI on top of broken processes. That won't work.
Yeah.
Often, you need to re-engineer the process itself first to create a solid foundation for AI to build upon.
Right. So AI isn't some magic wand you just wave. It's a powerful tool, but it demands really thoughtful integration, careful management, and often, fundamental rethink of how you even do sales in the first place.
Exactly. And that's likely why so many companies, going back to that McKinsey stat, aren't seeing the bottom line impact yet. They're missing that crucial strategic reimagination piece.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, what does this mean for the future of sales? AI is clearly going to keep redefining the landscape, no doubt about it. And this feels like the core takeaway, it's not going to replace the fundamental value of human salespeople.
I agree. The most successful organizations, the winning teams, will be the ones that figure out how to blend human intelligence and artificial intelligence into this really powerful synergistic partnership.
Yeah.
Chris Orlob's insight about Sapiens feels really key here. He talks about truly complex consultative selling requiring wisdom, empathy, creative insight, things only a human can provide. AI can handle the data crunching, the routine tasks, be that tireless assistant, but humans, we get to focus on building real trust, deeply understanding client needs, crafting bespoke strategies, being truly present and consultative.
It's almost like in an increasingly automated world, human is the new luxury. So the call to action for you listening right now as a sales professional is really to start reimagining your role, your processes. Don't just try to tack AI onto the old ways of doing things.
And it's worth the effort. Because when you get this right, AI can genuinely give an average rep the capabilities closer to an elite performer. And it can give an elite performer almost superhuman reach and effectiveness. The future of sales. It's probably not going to be AI versus human. It's going to be AI-augmented humans versus everyone else.